found out that my boyfriend had been cheating on me for months during our relationship. This is how I found out. This guy and I had been dating from our sophomore year of high school to our senior year of high school. Dating this guy was pretty much the first serious relationship that I'd ever been in, and it was definitely the longest term relationship I had ever been in. In the beginning, our relationship was pretty healthy. We would always brag to people that we would never fight, and we thought that that was such a flex that we would like literally never argue. As time went on, things got a little bit rockier. We ended up breaking up for some time. I don't even remember why. And I also found some suspicious things. The things that I found and the fact that we had broken up over pretty much no reason should have been my sign to leave. Like, that was my biggest red flag, but it wasn't. Basically, like, halfway through our relationship, I just got the gut feeling to check his phone, and he kind of had a lot of friends that were girls from his hometown, and so I went through his phone, and I found out that he'd been, like, sliding up on their Snap stories and, like, sending them hard eyes and talking about things that they should not have been talking about. And so obviously I was really mad. I had checked his phone when he went into a gas station. I had like 5 minutes. I was like zooming through that thing and I found all that. And so he came back out and I was like obviously pissed off. But he immediately apologized and I pretty much forgave him in that same day and our relationship continued to go on. I just want to add in, I was not perfect in this relationship. Also, we started dating when I was 15. Like, I was pretty much a kid. But anyway, the real issue started at the end of our senior year. It was post-COVID, and so we hadn't had a prom together our junior year, and so I was really looking forward to our senior prom together because we hadn't gotten to go to one yet. During pretty much our whole relationship, my boyfriend was really into gardening, which I hated. Like, I could not stand this. Towards the end of our senior year, he makes this friend who was like also his plug that he had found on Snapchat. And so he starts going over to this guy's house to get what he needs from the guy, but he's also staying and hanging out there for like hours at a time. So obviously I'm like, who is this guy? And he tells me that the name of it, like the plug name on Snap was like Life 360 or like Worldview 360, something 360. Like, it was a weird name, but you know, like, I don't know if anyone like knew of any plugs in high school, but the names were always kind of weird. And so I was like, okay, that like kind of sounds legit. I think that there was actually a plug in our town that had that name. And so he told me that he was going over to this guy's house and like hanging out with him, and he had his location shared with me the whole time. And so I was like, okay, like this guy lives like 30 minutes away from us, I guess. Okay. So time goes on and he continues to hang out with this Snapchat plug. And one day I get really curious and I'm like, what are you guys doing over there? Because it got to the point where he would be over there until like 2 in the morning. Like, he would go like in the evening and be there until 2 a.m. And I remember one time he told me that they were watching a sports game. And guys, I am not stupid. That sport wasn't even in season. I don't remember what he told me, but that sport was not in season. I was like, okay. Also, side note, this blush is so pretty. So anyway, yeah, he would go over there until like 2 a.m. and I was getting pretty annoyed by this because it was taking time away from our relationship, but I was like, whatever, it's fine, because I would stay up for him most of the time and then he would call me on the drive back because, like I said, it was like 30 minutes away and everything was completely normal on the call. Like, when he would call me, like, I thought everything was totally fine. He had been hanging out at this plug's house for probably, I want to say, a month or two. I think it was close to 6 or 7 weeks when our relationship started to deteriorate kind of for no reason. Like, I was confused by it ultimately, and then he started talking about breaking up and I was like not understanding, and so I was like begging him to think about it and like give us a chance to fix whatever was going on because I didn't really understand what was going on because I hadn't done anything, you know. And so he ended up waiting for, I think, a 3-day period. And I was like, just think about it, just think about it. Oh my god, guys, I was so down bad. I was so down bad. But he ended up thinking about it. And then at the end of the 3 days, he decided, like, no, he wanted to be broken up. And I was really confused, but I was like, okay. And he was like, you can just keep everything that I've ever given you. You can keep all my clothes, all my hoodies, like, everything. Like, I know what it means to you. Like, he was guilty or something. And I was like, okay, like, I guess we're ending on good terms. A little while after our relationship had ended, this guy from our town started snapping me, and I knew him. I'm pretty sure we went to the same school. We had like mutual friends, and so I didn't really think anything of it. Like, we were just casually snapping until one day this man snaps me and he's like, I'm so sorry for what happened between you and... I was really shocked when this girl that he had been apparently talking to left me for him and now they're together. And I was like, wait, he's with another girl and you were with this girl? Like, I had no idea that this guy was involved with what had happened. Anyway, he basically tells me, yeah, I was like talking to or dating this girl or something. He was like involved with her somehow, and then she got involved with my boyfriend. And so I was like, how long has this been going on? And he was like, oh, the last 2 months. And I was like, does she live at this location? And I send the screenshot that I have taken of his location at the weed dealer's house because he was there all the time, so of course I'm gonna like screenshot his location. And of course I had a weird feeling about it. Like, who goes to a dealer's house until 2 in the morning? Like, I had multiple screenshots of this man's location at her house. And he tells me her address, and surprise surprise, it matches the location that he's been going to. And surprise, surprise, he was there right there in that moment because he didn't stop sharing his location with me after we broke up. So he had been going to her house in the immediate days after we broke up, and he had been going to her house for like 2 months, bro, and lying to me about it. And she was not a dealer, by the way. The funniest thing about all of this is that I already suspected this girl. I didn't know her. We had like some mutual friends, but I had never heard her name before. Like never in my life heard it spoken by any of my friends, but apparently some of them knew her. And I had gone through his spam Instagram account following like a couple weeks prior to us breaking up. And her profile, guys, I can't explain it. It was just glowing. And so I went through it, and she had like, of course, been posting like on her spam, and he had been liking every single picture of my boyfriend. And I had screenshotted a bunch of them. And to this day, I still have the screenshots of like him in her likes. And it offends me every single time I go through my camera roll. Not really, I'm over it, but you know. So anyway, obviously I texted him about that because screw the whole ending on good terms thing if you've been cheating on me. And I like sent him the screenshots of her location and or of him at her house, and I'm like, I know that you've been cheating on me, blah blah blah, like I just got confirmation, like F you, all this stuff. And he denies that it was cheating. He's like, it's not cheating, I was just over there, like she's just a friend, she was just helping me through like our breakup, and she's just been there for me, and we're just friends, but nothing happened, so it wasn't cheating. Yes, it was. I'm sorry. Yes, it was. At this point, I really wanted to text the girl because that's so messed up. Like, I was on his social medias, he had a picture of me in the car, like, hello. But then I realized that a couple weeks before, he had taken down all of our Instagram pictures, and I asked him why, because I thought that that was suspicious. And he was like, we just need to take new ones. These ones are too old. And he took the picture off of his dash of us, and he said that it was because he got an oil change, and they didn't let anything be on the dash. Guys, I was so sussed out by all this. Sussed. Hello. What a word to use. But seriously, I was like, huh? So I was already suspicious to begin with. So then I was like, well, maybe she didn't know that we were together. And so I sort of asked some of our mutual friends to like talk to her about it and see what she knew. And they said that she denied knowing that we were together and that she like didn't even believe that we were together. So I guess he must have lied to her too. And then they both took each other to their senior proms, which I was obviously really upset about at the time, but I'm actually so happy that it turned out the way that it did. Anyway, I also want to clarify, like, no hate to anyone involved. This was so long ago. I told the story only for the sake of storytelling. Anyway, that's all, and this is your sign to not be stupid like me and ignore red flags. If your boyfriend deletes all of your Instagram pictures, takes your picture out of his car, starts hanging out with a dealer until 2 a.m. and lying to you about it, he's probably cheating on you, and you shouldn't be like me. You should just trust your gut and leave. Bye!
I tell you, woman's intuition is not wrong. It might be like wrong in like the detail sense, but when they feel something is off, it's off. And apparently it was off because he was cheating for a long time. And I'm glad that she's giving you points of red flags, because sometimes you just need to hear the red flags because you don't know they're red flags until someone else tells you. So I'm glad she's like a girl's girl. I'm telling you that. But yeah, him dating someone right after they break up, they do it all the time. Men can't be alone, honestly. I've seen it a lot of times. And also, who is this friend that knew that he was cheating and didn't say nothing for months? I don't know. I feel like in a relationship, you spend all this time with people and you give them times. It'd be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, whatever. That's time they can't get back. So if you're playing in their face, like, you might as well just stop. Like, even 6 months is too long for you to be taking somebody's time. You never know. Our time is not ours. It is borrowed. So I really feel strongly when people cheat on people and like waste their time and don't give them rings and all this stuff just to play in their face. If you don't like me, don't date me. If you don't want to be with me, don't be with me. It's like so simple, but I feel like people just don't understand that. I don't know. What do you guys think about this story? Put it in the comment section below.